he's trouble. There's no doubt about it. He's trouble. Makes other people's lives miserable because he feels somehow entitled to do that. You're shaking your head. No, I'm just reading here. I don't know you.
Sure, it looks like an older Dodge van.
An older Dodge.
They were shooting something out the window.
His number is 25CR43151. Mr. Graves is present. We are here hearing on ILC. Is there a position on ILC from the prosecutor?
Your Honor, the defendant is technically eligible on 5 of the 6 offenses for ILC. He had no prior record. We did amend count 4, the OVI, to physical control due to some issues, but quite frankly, we're very concerned about whether or not he would be a good candidate for ILC based on his conduct since he was released December 15th of last year, picked up new charges in Kentucky, picked up new charges in Clark County. A lot of it was weapons again. He had, while he was in jail, picked up 5 violations while he was just in our Warren County jail for fighting, for failing to, or wanting to and threatening to fight with other inmates, refusing to obey orders. And so I guess my main concern is, yes, he is technically ILC eligible, but I do not feel like he is a rule follower. I don't think he wants to follow the rules. I don't think he feels like he needs to follow the rules. Doesn't feel like he really has that much of an issue, doesn't really think treatment is going to be needed much in this case, gave it a 1, I believe, on that. But he is technically ILC eligible.
Okay, I think, do you agree with the prosecutor's
Judge,
assessment?
what I will say is that he's not charged with another firearms offense. He is accused of having a flare gun in Clark County, and is somehow that has been charged as a possession of a dangerous ordinance charge. And by my reading of the statute, I don't really understand how a flare gun is a dangerous ordinance. There was no gun charge. I will say that he also was charged with a hit skip in Clark County that precipitated the stop where he had a flare gun in the van. And additionally, there was an obstruction charge that happened, I believe, in Kentucky, I believe in December. I can't speak to his behavior in the jail. This is the first I'm hearing about that. I will say that between the time that he was taken into custody in Clark County and now, he has spent 64 days in jail. And additionally, that I believe in between November and October of last year and the time that this court released him, he spent probably at least 40 days in jail. So I believe he spent over 100 and some odd days in jail at this point. When I speak to him, he is highly motivated to do whatever he is told, because I explained to him that the issue with intervention in lieu of conviction is that the minute that you're non-compliant with community control or sanctions that are placed on you by the people who are monitoring you, you are convicted of the crime. And one of my hesitations in engaging into this plea was it was my belief that the conviction on the UUMV, I'm sorry, not the UUMV, the physical control would somehow prevent him from having the F5s that he is pleading to and the F4 and the M1 sealed. But what counsel has told me is that this court has in the past bifurcated those two things to allow the sealing of dismissed charges in spite of the fact that he is convicted of a UUMV. So my concern over that is not, I guess, has been ameliorated by that. And so he is motivated to start his treatment, whatever the court deems necessary, as quickly as possible. I explained to him after speaking to the probation officer that they're going to ask for CBCF. I don't know if I have the initials or the letters right, but a community-based behavioral inpatient treatment program where he could be somewhere anywhere from 4 to 6 months. So he understands that while he is motivated to get out and do what he needs to do, he also understands that they're going to be requesting somewhere where he go and he's not released, he is going to remain in custody. I can't say that I am not concerned with his decision making in the past 3 to 4 months, but I can say that we are no worse off for allowing him to try the intervention in lieu of conviction, because either one of two things are going to happen. Either he is going to succeed and do the things that he has been asked to do, or he's not. And if he is not, this court and other courts have the ability to impose a prison sentence upon him then. But up until, I don't know what happened in late last year, but he lived his entire life without any context of any court system whatsoever. So I'm not sure why the wheels fell off then, but that's kind of where we are.
Okay, I guess when I read this, one of my concerns is what's going on here. He's been on I guess you could call it a crime spree. Kentucky, Clark County, Warren County. Flare gun, I don't know. I don't even know if those things are legal. Deputy, did you pick up any of that in your training?
It's a safety device according to the code, Your Honor. They are legal except for designed or adapted or modified for use as a weapon. I don't know any of the details of this case because I'm not his counsel in that case. So I don't know what the allegations involve.
Okay. Well, he was in the jail, and most people there, even though it's a dysfunctional group, managed to conform to the rules of the jail, which aren't a lot.
Fair.
He can't do it.
This is the first I've heard of that, Judge. I'm so
Well,
sorry.
here, look at this. Have you read the IOC report?
Thank you.
He's trouble. There's no doubt about it. He's trouble. Makes other people's lives miserable because he feels somehow entitled to do that. You're shaking your head, no, I'm just reading here. I don't know you.
Yes, sir.
From Adam. I know you're 19 years old. When I was 19, I got drafted into the military.
That's actually what I was thinking about doing.
It's maybe too late for that.
Yeah.
I will say that I've spoken at length to his grandmother, and I know that he's had an ISP and he's had some fairly significant mental health issues during his adolescence. I think that stemmed from a car accident where his mother was killed, and he had to see that, and he also suffered some, I believe, cerebral trauma to that, and I think that those things all play a role in his decision making and his impulsiveness, but I can't speak to what happened in the jail, Judge.
Okay. Anything you want to say? I know you've been wanting to talk. Go ahead.
No, sir.
You don't have anything to say. The question is, are you capable of changing your behavior?
Yes, sir.
Because if you're not, and you know you're not, we'll find a different route for you. If you are capable of changing your behavior, then that's a consideration.
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. Well, treatment in lieu of conviction is treatment in lieu of a conviction, meaning, as your attorney has explained to you, if you're granted treatment, and that could be anything from a community-based correctional facility of 6 months
Yes, sir.
to residential treatment at some treatment facility. That seems to be the range. Then if you change and you successfully complete this, then you could have these charges dismissed.
Okay.
You would have none of this on your record.
Okay.
That's a pretty important thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to go over this to make sure you understand what I know your attorney's already told you. If you do not, then you're looking at 18 months in prison on count 1, 18 months in prison on count 2, 12 months in prison on count 3, and the others are misdemeanors. They would run concurrent. So technically you could probably at least 18 months, basically. If you are found to be in possession of a firearm subsequent to today, this could be a violation
Yes,
of
sir.
your ILC.
Okay.
I wouldn't take a chance with a flare gun either. I don't know how that's going to turn out.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this also carries post-release control, meaning if you do go to prison, you're subject to 2 years of supervision after your release. What is your plea? Did you have all the charges on, is he pleading to all the charges?
He is, but count 4 is gonna be physical control versus OVI.
Okay. What is your plea to carrying a concealed weapon?
Guilty.
What is your plea to improper handling of a firearm in a motor vehicle?
Guilty.
What is your plea to the specification for the forfeiture of that firearm?
Guilty.
What is your plea to improperly handling firearms in a motor vehicle in another count, count 3?
Guilty.
And what is your plea to the specification for forfeiture of that firearm?
Guilty.
What is your plea to having physical control of a vehicle while under the influence of alcohol and/or drugs?
Guilty.
What is your plea to theft?
Guilty.
What is your plea to using weapons while intoxicated?
Guilty.
I accept your plea, find that you are eligible for treatment in lieu of conviction at request, place you under the supervision of the Warren County Probation Department for a period not to exceed 3 years. You can get this over with in a year, believe it or not, if you actually fully comply.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now we have to do a disposition. Anything further from the state on disposition? We kind of covered most of this.
Yeah, I would concur with the CBCF in this case, Your Honor, at this point. He has 78 days of jail time credit on this case.
Okay, Mr. Nelson, anything on behalf?
I'd forgotten that he does not get credit for the time that he was held in Clark County prior to the issuance of the holder from Warren County. So we would ask you to give the 78 days credit. I have had lengthy discussions with Christian. I have explained to Christian the extreme importance of his compliance and his embracing the program, because I've advised him of the extremely likely consequence of failing on ILC. I think from my conversations with him over the course of the past month that something has finally been jogged and that he understands. Whether he can modify his behavior, that's up to him. But we would ask that you go along with the recommendation.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything you want to say, sir?
I'm gonna do what I need to do, and that's pretty much it. Yes, sir.
Okay. When I look through this, it appears that I don't see anything here. If you successfully complete this, I don't see anything here that would disqualify you from going into the military.
Yes, sir.
So you do still have that option. I'm not sure it's the smartest idea right now for
Yes, sir.
anybody, but you know, it's patriotic, and it can set you up for a much better life
Yes,
if
sir.
you live through it. But I think we've got to get a hold of this, and I'm concerned that if I set this too low, it's not gonna work. You're gonna be in here with these convictions, and I would not have done you any favors. I'm concerned if he goes to residential treatment. Most of those people are there having already done some prior treatment, but they're there to get better. He doesn't seem to be able to get along with people in the jail, wherever, and I don't want to see him stumble. I think the STAR program is the appropriate disposition for him in the long run.
Okay.
So I think you need to wake up every morning, though, and think, this is an opportunity for me to actually make something in my life.
Yes, sir. And that's what I want to do.
Yeah, good. And there's going to be people there who make it difficult for you. That's going to be the case no matter where you go.
Right.
People in going to whatever facility there is coming from here aren't the easiest people to deal with.
Yes, sir.
And you're one of them, unfortunately, but you can change that. Okay, so that's what I'm ordering as the STAR program. You successfully complete that, the aftercare, you'll have half your ILC done when you get out. And then you can wrap it up and get these charges dismissed. Anything else?
Your Honor, are we forfeiting both guns?
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
we'll agree to that.
probably stolen anyway, aren't they?
I don't know. I don't know, he doesn't
Be
need
my
one.
guess.
He doesn't need one.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
Okay.
Neighbors witness an explosive shot at a home 3 times before the car drives off. This all happened just a few days ago in Springfield. The homeowners are left worried and in shock. News Center 7's Malik Patterson is live on Cecile Street where it happened. Malik, people are concerned.
Yes, Taylor, many of these neighbors know each other and talk to each other daily. So to see this happen to one of their neighbors left a lot of them on edge, but a lot of them are also asking each other questions as to why would this happen? Watch this van closely. As it drives by, there's an explosive flash that shoots from it at this home. They drive out of view. Moments later, they back up in front of the home again, shooting another shot, causing this explosion and fire in the front lawn. Pam Stillwell lives at the home that was shot at. She wasn't home when it happened, but after seeing the video,
it just scared a bunch of people, shook up my neighbors.
okay.
Shook me up when I seen the video.
But it wasn't just once or twice. Take a look at the video again. After the fire goes out, they start to drive off and shoot at the home a third time.
I don't know if it was kids acting goofy or what, or if they was trying to, aim this house and hurt someone.
Stillwell said shortly after that happened, 4 of her neighbors called 911.
I don't know if it was a gun. It sounded like a gun. I mean, I could see, I don't know, fire coming out.
There was a fight and I heard a gunshot. Somebody was screaming.
One neighbor even got a description of the van.
What kind of car was that?
It was a minivan.
Minivan. Okay, hold on 1 second.
I'm not sure. It looks like an older Dodge van.
An older Dodge.
They just passed. They were shooting something out the window though.
Stillwell said her son was home at the time when it happened. There was no real damage to the home and no one was hurt, thankfully. But she's glad that they are able to catch this on camera.
Definitely. Everybody should have cameras nowadays.
Stillwell told me that police are looking into this video and they hope that they are able to track whoever this person or persons are so this neighborhood could feel more at ease. For now, in Springfield, Malik Patterson, News Center 7.
Thanks, Malik.